So in this video, we're going to talk a little bit about help with falling over when you're on the ice. Unfortunately, falling over does happen sometimes quite often, sometimes not very often, but you're almost guaranteed that at some point during your learning journey, it will happen. So let's look at the ways that we can try and make it as safe as possible when falling's happening. So we're at the point now where you're falling. Unfortunately, it's happening. Now, how can we make this as safe as possible when it does happen? So there are definitely ways that you can make falling over safer than others. One is to always make sure that if you do fall, try and fall forwards rather than backwards. When you fall forwards, you have your hands on your arms to protect you, and mainly when you fall backwards, you're in danger of whacking your head, and you want to try and avoid that at all costs. So make sure that if you do fall, try and fall forwards. That's why I always recommend that if you ever get in any danger, you want to take this position where you can see that my body is slightly forwards, my knees are slightly bent, and my hands are in front of me. Never straight up with straight knees with my arms behind me. So you want to make sure you're in that position nice and forward so that if you ever get into trouble and you can't fix your wobbles, then you will be falling forwards rather than falling backwards. When you fall forwards, you also want to try and, I know it's going to sound silly, but you want to try and relax through this fall. So when you get tight and when you fall over and you start to panic, everything straightens and tenses up, including your knees and your elbows. And unfortunately, when you go down and you straighten your elbows, there's a lot of shock that goes through those joints. Whereas when you keep relaxed, you keep your elbows nice and soft, you keep your knees nice and soft, if anything were to hit the ice at that point, then the shock could be absorbed by at least some of your joints. So really try and keep relaxed. I know it's very counterintuitive when you are falling over, but keep nice and relaxed when falling. Make sure, if possible, if you are falling, fall forwards rather than backwards. Be very careful of any head injuries you may sustain. You want to make sure you get those checked out wherever possible, as soon as possible, if it does unfortunately happen. Aside from that, when you fall over, laugh about it, get up and let's try it again. All part of the process. Thanks, guys.